Peter Buka is a Hungarian pianist and street performer who has amassed millions of views online playing piano covers. He currently has 3 million subscribers, so it's fair to say that he's quite popular. But why? What is it about his performances that are so popular? Well, hopefully today I'm going to find out by watching his top 10 piano covers. So let's get into it. Yeah, so Dance Monkey is based around 4 chords, which are F sharp minor, D major, E major, and C sharp minor. It basically uses the same 4 chords that a lot of pop songs use, which means as a player, you can do a lot with it on the piano. You can do something kind of big and extreme like this. Or you can do something kind of simple like this. That's why on one hand, it's great to have a song that has such simple chords, but on the other hand, I think those songs do get kind of boring quite fast. It's interesting because unlike most people, Peter is kind of prioritizing the right hand and making that sound interesting rather than the left hand. So in the left hand, it's kind of just filling out the chord structure, but in the right hand, he's doing these kind of decorative things. Lots of kind of scales and quick notes in the right hand that make it sound slightly more impressive than just the basic melody. It's also kind of important in this song to try and treat the piano slightly like a drum kit, where you're kind of going... Adding lots of rhythm like that really pads out the texture, and then when he's adding those kind of fast scales on top, it starts to sound really big and like a sensory overload. I mean, already I'm seeing some patterns going on. This kind of rhythm where you get long, long, short, long, long, short, long, long, short, long, long, short. That is another rhythm that is used all the time in popular music. And once again, Peter is using that exact same lick on the piano to make it sound really impressive. And in music, it's called a turn, where you go... Yeah, so this is based around 3 chords, which is E flat major, F major, and then G minor. You often find this with most musicians, which is they find a set of patterns and things that they like to do and that they've practiced a lot when they've been messing around on the piano, and they kind of end up leaking their way into everything that you play. So if you like playing turns and think that they sound cool, then you start to throw them into everything that you play. And the same goes for the left hand. If you like to play with a big sound on the piano and you play an octave and then a chord, then you're probably going to do that in most songs because it'll make any song sound really big. That's really interesting. He's taking the chord and separating out the notes and then playing them really fast. So instead of playing, he's playing... It sounds kind of weird, but I quite like it. That was an interesting ending. That reminded me of Ethan Bortnitz's song. I think it was called Cut My Fingers Off or something. It reminded me of that. Yeah, so this is another 4-chord song. But before we get into that, if you are interested in reading sheet music, then I have just released a beginner's guide to reading sheet music. It includes how to read notes, how to read note lengths, all of the symbols and markings that you can see in a piece of music and what they mean, along with methods to get good at reading music very quickly. So if you are interested in learning to read sheet music and you want to get the best start and not miss anything, then check it out with the link in the description. Okay, back to the important stuff. Yeah, so this is another 4-chord song. You've got kind of E flat minor and then B major. In this context, it'd be C flat major, then G flat major, and then D flat major. There you go again with the turns. I can definitely understand why people like to watch this, because it does sound very big and impressive, but with a song like this, it would be nice to see him do something kind of a little bit more pared down. I know these are all separate performances at different times, but if you were to do a whole set of, like, if you were doing a 2-hour show and they were all big, overwhelming pieces, it could start to sound like too much. And with a song like this, you really have the opportunity to do something kind of smaller and still make it sound impressive. I definitely need to get myself some of those lights where it lights up whenever I play. I like the start of this where he was doing left-hand arpeggios. I like how he's using his foot as some kind of percussion as well. It makes it feel and sound like he's relaxed and able to play whatever he wants. And if you get the sense that as a performer he's feeling relaxed and just messing around, then as an audience member or someone listening to it, you can also kind of relax and trust what he's going to do. Once again, he's using the same kind of techniques where he's got octaves in the left hand jumping up to chords. And he's using a lot of turns in the right hand. It kind of reminds me of Lindsay Sterling's early days, where all of her tracks were kind of exhibition songs. so interestingly, once again, this is exactly the same 4 chords. So it's E flat major, B flat major, C minor, and A flat major. So it's the same chords, just in a different key and using a different scale. I'd be very curious to know how he's also recording the piano, because it has a lot of reverb on it, and obviously you can hear his foot moving. But if you press the pedal down and then slide your foot off so the pedal like kind of jumps back up, then that will make a noise in the piano, and I think that's what's been recorded. We should also probably take a moment to just appreciate his new lights on the side of his piano. It's making me want to really up my light game. There's definitely a few of these songs that I haven't heard before, so it's very interesting trying to work it out from what Peter's playing. But the chords for this one are like C sharp minor, G sharp major, A major, E major, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, and then G sharp major. So this is the only one so far that has like an 8-bar chord sequence opposed to a 4-bar chord sequence, which I think makes it immediately sound more interesting because there's a bit more variation going on. Yeah, the ones so far, I think that one's my favourite. He's also very trusting of himself, playing these kind of arpeggios halfway through the song where it could very easily go wrong at any minute. So I don't know whether it's when he's editing this or if he's playing it on an electric, but there is no velocity to what he's playing, which means even if he presses the key really light, it's coming out as a really loud volume. And I think particularly with this piece of music, which I do know, and it's Time by Hans Zimmer, I think part of what makes it sound so dystopian and kind of sparse is the fact that it's quiet. So it's a very interesting choice, if it is a choice, to make it all one volume. Once again, putting those little decorative things in. He does have a very relaxed left hand, which does allow him to do those kind of flourishes. I know that that's something that a lot of people struggle with, particularly in the left hand, which is most people's weaker hand. Except for those superior people in the world that are left-handed like myself. Yeah, it's almost like a dubstep remix of the song. And because he's got that kind of synth pad bed of sound underneath, it's masking a lot of the heavier stuff at the very bottom of the piano. I mean, there's no doubt that he's a great player and very physically able to play those fast runs and things. But I am definitely going to have to go and listen to something quiet after this. So this is another 4-chorder, and the 4 chords are F minor, C minor, E flat major, and B flat major. I think that answers the question about how he records it, because it seems like he's got a recording device on top of the piano, so that must be what he puts in the piano when he's playing not in a public situation. Nice arpeggios. It sounds cool. I can't decide whether I prefer it with or without the backing track. Be interested to know what other people think, so let me know in the comments. Now this is an interesting one because I actually do know this piece because I did watch Money Heist or La Casa de Papel. And this is a piece of music that featured in that quite a bit. So out of all the popular music that I maybe don't know that you would expect me to know, this more obscure piece of music I do know. I think it just shows that with just a few techniques, you can actually play most things and make it sound really good. So in the right hand, he's still using those arpeggios that go... He's still playing octaves and chords. He's still doing that kind of percussion thing with his foot. And he's still adding lots of these turns in. And these are all ways of playing that he obviously likes and has practiced quite a lot through doing different songs like this. So it just goes to show that you can actually do quite a lot and fill out a song with just a few features. So having the background music allows him to focus more on the chords and higher stuff on the piano rather than just playing bass notes. I always think it's really fun with pop songs to try and re-harmonize them. So the chords for the chorus of this song are E flat major, B flat major, F major, and then G minor, F major, and then the same again. But you could definitely change them in a piano cover. So there's so many options with it, and I think when you have a backing track, I don't know whether that takes away some of the options, because you're kind of stuck with playing it how the backing track plays it. But I think it goes without saying that Peter is a great player and he's very, very good at the piano and capable of doing whatever he wants to do. And I can definitely see why his covers are so popular, because they are big and extreme and very exciting to listen to. Although I do think it would be cool to see what he can do with a more pared down, quieter cover, because I think he would do a great job. And if you want to see my reaction to the most beautiful and relaxing pieces of music, then head on through and I will see you there.